Summerhill started based on an idea. And the idea that I had was that we needed to have an organization focused on actions that the public would take that would lead to measurable results.
Summerhill is a market leader in energy efficiency and product stewardship services. We've been doing business in Canada with phenomenal clients in the utility space in particular over the last decade and engaged with over 1 million Canadians.
What made Summerhill innovative was pulling the private sector, public sector, not-for-profit organizations together to create programs that would lead to measurable results. I feel we're doing breakthrough programs by actually creating things and initiatives which were really based on the idea of something that was tangible and something that the public could do and something that rewarded them for doing it.
Well, Summerhill has been a partner of Toronto Hydro on our energy conservation and consumer outreach programs since 2005, when Toronto Hydro actually began these programs. So Summerhill was able to bring its expertise, what works, what doesn't work, real experience that they had gained in other utility markets to Toronto Hydro to get us out the door very, very quickly and efficiently. And as a result, our conservation programs have been extremely effective.
I've worked with Summerhill since 2012 and have been here at Oxford since 2010. In my opinion, Oxford is an innovator, and with Summerhill's help, we are leading customer engagement and sustainability across Canada. Oxford is so committed to sustainability, while at the same time enhancing customer experience, and customer service is so important to us. It's so exciting to be part of this opportunity to work with Summerhill and to lead significant change in sustainability across Canada.
Summerhill culture is very collaborative, supportive, engaging. The staff at Summerhill, because they're so committed to the impact, because we're subject matter experts, there's a real desire to bring innovative ideas to the table, to support each other in our various projects and work. And so it makes for a very dynamic, engaging workplace.
We've focused the business on energy efficiency and product stewardship with a real special focus on consumer engagement. I think it builds on our roots, our history as an organization that did so many great on-the-ground programs that engaged people. And I think for Summerhill, as an organization that's done so much pioneering work, we have a really fundamental role, I think, to play in bringing innovative ideas to the market, and not only here in Canada, but in the United States and elsewhere. It's incredibly energizing to be surrounded by so many people who believe in that great sense of possibility.
Hi, I'm Dominic Vatier from Dom's Auto Parts in Curtis, Ontario. As auto recyclers, we have a responsibility to remove many hazardous materials from the vehicles we recycle, including mercury. Once a vehicle reaches the end of its useful life, it is crushed, shredded, and recycled into new steel. If the mercury has not been removed before the scrap reaches the steel mill, the mercury can be released into the atmosphere and impact the environment. Because mercury has unique properties that make it ideal for electrical applications, it has been used in a number of consumer products. In the automotive industry, mercury has mainly been used to manufacture gravity-operated switches. These switches were previously used and can be found in convenience lighting assemblies under the hood and trunk of the car, as well as in the anti-lock brake sensor modules. Cars manufactured after January 1st, 2003 do not contain automotive mercury switches, but it is important to check for switches in older vehicles as they reach their end of life.
As a general rule, Mercury-containing convenience light switches can be found in 2002 or older GM vehicles, 2001 or older Ford vehicles, 1998 or older Chrysler vehicles, and some 1991 or older European models.
For more detailed information on the makes and models that contain mercury switches, visit switchout.ca. Removing mercury switches from convenience lighting assemblies is a simple process that can be easily done while you drain the fluids and remove the batteries from the vehicle. In fact, you can usually accomplish this task in about a minute, with the result being a healthier and safer environment. Using this 1996 Jeep Grand Cherokee as an example, we'll show you how easy it is to remove a switch. First, unplug the convenience light assembly from the power supply and remove the fasteners that hold it in place. The small silver mercury switch can be found inside the plastic casing. Put the mercury switch in the plastic collection container supplied free of charge by the Switch Out program. These containers are UN approved for the shipment of mercury. When your container is full or the Switch Out staff has asked you to return your switches as part of a collection sweep, remember to fasten the pail lid tightly, fill out your prepaid waybill, and contact the shipping company to arrange for a free pickup. Here's another example showing how to remove a convenience light switch from a 1991 Plymouth Acclaim. Unplug the light assembly switch and unhook the clip. If possible, pry open the assembly and remove the mercury switch. In some cases, you'll find that it's easier to remove just the switch, leaving the assembly in place. Once in a while, you may find a convenience light assembly that's molded in such a way that you can't get the switch out. Even more rarely, you'll find an assembly that's too corroded to remove the switch without risk of breaking it. In either case, simply put the entire assembly in the container for recycling. Mercury switches were also used in some ABS G4 sensors before 2003. These sensors typically contain 2 or 3 mercury switches embedded in the assembly and can be found in the following vehicles:
Various four-wheel drive Chrysler vehicles built before 2003, a number of 2002 and older Ford and Mazda four-wheel drive trucks and SUVs, and certain 1996 and older Audi, Nissan, and Subaru four-wheel drive models.
Visit switchout.ca for a complete list of vehicles with ABS G-force sensors. These sensors are typically found in the drive tunnel, below the rear seat on the floor pan, in the right front wheel apron, and on the left frame rail directly below the driver's seat. Let's look how to remove these ABS sensors from a 1996 Jeep Grand Cherokee. In this vehicle, the ABS sensor is located under the rear seat. Release the clips, disconnect the wire harness, and remove 2 bolts to release the sensor. Place the entire sensor assembly into your switch-out collection container. For your safety, please do not try to remove the mercury switches from the ABS sensor. The ABS sensor location varies by make and model. Let's take a look on how to remove the ABS sensor in a Ford Explorer and a Ford Ranger. Place the vehicle on a lift, making sure it is secure. You will find the sensor on the left frame rail below the driver's seat. Release the clip to disconnect the wire harness, remove 2 bolts, and put the whole unit in the collection container. When you send your container back to Switch Out, you can rest assured that it will be safely managed. Beyond being easy and good for the environment, participating in Switch Out is also good for your business. Canadian scrap steel buyers are verifying mercury switch removal as part of the Zero Mercury Scrap purchasing policy. Your province and industry association may also check that you are participating in Switch Out as a part of regular facility audits. Participating in Switch Out is also a great way to show your customers that you are committed to the environment. I'm proud to say that Dom's Auto Parts has been participating in Switch Out since 2008. Over 1,000 businesses across Canada have already registered for Switch Out and are doing their part to keep mercury out of the environment. Please check every vehicle you recycle for mercury switches, and remember, every switch counts. For more information or to register for the program, visit switchout.ca.
We all have busy lives, and we're not telling people to stop driving. You know, we know that the cities are built around cars. So what we do right now is we put a meter in people's car. We ask people to drive their regular commute, drive normally for a couple weeks, and then we ask people to participate in a challenge period. And in that challenge period, we ask them to reduce by 10%. If they hit their challenge, we give them free gas. So it's an innovative way to challenge people, to game it, and to get people excited about changing their behavior, but also using incentives and prizes that speak to them and kind of normalize the behavior after that.
I heard about the shuttle program through a colleague at work, and I thought it was a really interesting approach, and I wanted to try it out, see how I did, and try to improve my driving habits, or even driving less and driving better.
The shuttle challenge for me was a real eye-opener. I had always thought that I was a fairly efficient driver, but when it came down to the challenge, I learned that there were a lot of other techniques that I could employ to try and improve my driving.
During the challenge, I reduced my kilometers by 48% and my fuel consumption by 43%. I am thrilled to have accomplished that.
I would highly recommend the shuttle challenge. I think it should be incorporated in driver training. I'd love to see some of the technology that was employed during the shuttle challenge built into new cars. You should have all those gauges right on to see fuel efficiency right there on your dashboard.
What we're trying to do is that if you reduce your driving habits just by 10%, the impact on the entire transportation system is massive. And that's where we see shuttle having a big impact because of the data that it's collecting. If you extrapolate it out and you understood and knew exactly when and where people are driving and how they're driving, then you can plan a transportation system that meets the high demand areas.